Aight.
All right, so let's get started on this thing. All right, now we're going to show you the true difference of a pre-cut kit versus a cut-to-fit kit. Here it is. This is what many people get when they order stripes and have not asked enough questions online because they don't know any better. But they'll get something like this. Okay, this is a bumper-to-bumper stripe for a Mustang. So you want it to fit on here, and you don't want that installer of yours to put a knife on your car. Well, how is he going to get that to fit on your car nice without having to cut all of these stripes individual? Now granted, a guy could put knifeless on there and do it that way. This is going to be a pain to install. I mean, just simply, I can show you just go off this. Now this is an air release material. So once again, you wouldn't be installing this wet. I mean, just say you get this thing lined up. You could sit there and try working this through little sections at a time. But as soon as you start getting to bends, curves, everything else, this is where your problem starts coming in. Now you got a pocket there, pocket there. Now you're going to have to make sure you cut that. Going over the spoiler. Now you get on the back end of the spoiler. Trying to deal with stripes like this, it's just going to continue to bunch. And you could eventually work that out. But is it going to work as nice as a cut-to-fit kit? No. So, death to pre-cut kits. All right, the other thing you guys might get. Now, this, sometimes you guys will have to use, is just some simple roll goods to use certain parts. If you have a part that's just a spoiler piece, it makes sense just to use a little section of vinyl. I understand that if just something's messed up. But trying to do an actual rally like this, trying to get this all lined up and making your cuts, once again, that's an issue. Why jack around with all that time? You guys waste way too much time. If we have a kit already developed, it is going to save a ton of time. There's your deck lid pieces that are already pre-spaced, ready to go, ready to be installed. You got your spoiler pieces ready to go, already cut. The bends are already in them. If you see the shape of this, once again, there's your bend already in there. Tucks in just right. We'll even show an install. Rear bumper piece, all together, fits up under there. You have your center point, and it will wrap around and be correct. We even took the time, cut out for the license tag, so you don't have to ever lay a knife on the car. This is the whole point of a cut-to-fit kit, is you're not going to have to lay any blades on there except for areas that are not on the paint. That's it. Door jambs, front nose piece between the hood and the front fascia. Those are the only places you're going to see a knife. Cut-to-fit kit is the way to go. It's going to save you time. Going to save you money, because we all know money is time. Our rounded corners are another huge factor. We make sure that all of the cuts have nice rounded corners. Reason for this, if you have a super sharp corner, like say something like this, it's going to catch a lot more than a rounded corner. A lot of guys cannot do this with just using, whether it's knifeless or a knife. They're going to have to sit there and try to do it on the car. That's a major problem. So if you're ordering a kit, go with air release product, which would be 1080, 3M, or Avery Supreme Wrap. Make sure you get all of the details. This is why when you order a kit, it's so important that you get all of the information to us or to whoever you're buying a kit from, as the spoiler. You need to know what kind of spoiler it is. Does it have an XM radio? Does it have navigation? Take pictures if you need to and send them to your installer, or if you are an installer, send them to us if you have a question, and we'll get you taken care of. But we're going to do a quick little install on this, let you guys see how nice it actually fits. And if you got questions, keep asking. But all right, so this is the rear end of the Stallion Slim kit. So we're going to get started on that. Ron's going to show us through it, but I wanted to just point out a few things for you guys. So we've got the deck lid stripe together on this. Now the thing that I really want to point out is how nice the rounded edges are that we deal with these kits. So when I say it's a cut to fit kit, we're truly making sure that all of the corners are nice and rounded. They're not a sharp point where it's going to get caught. The other thing I want to point out is even like in our spoiler pieces, a true cut to fit kit, we actually have the shape of the bend already in the stripe. So then when it bends over the spoiler, it actually looks straight to the eye. So this is why a cut to fit kit is huge versus a pre-cut kit. So as Ron's going to do, just normal hinge method, get the top done first, and then we'll go through the all the other pieces. So on this, he already had the center point found as we did earlier. Make sure you check that 2 or 3 times, but also make sure your guidelines are set up just right on the outside of each stripe. And if you notice, that stripe, it actually tucks just right under the spoiler, just enough to where it looks like it actually goes underneath the spoiler. Spoiler piece, what he's going to do is simply take a piece of tape and a grease pencil and make a mark. That way you know on both sides where it needs to line up. That way you don't have to worry about doing a hinge for this little tiny piece. Now you don't want to use a Sharpie, and you do not want to use something that's going to really mark the actual film or could go through the masking. So definitely stay away from using that. On the back of the liner here, we'll have the arrows showing which way is up as far as the part, so you know what the top of the actual bumper or spoiler or whatever part it is would be. That helps when you're lining them up. Notice that right there where the tag, the screw of the tag would go in, we even have that notched out. So that way you don't even have to worry about that simple cut. We're trying to figure out how to wrap that thing. That's just wasted time. This way it's already done for you. And you can tell how fast the install can go. Now you just start peeling off the mask. You start going from there. You work your way down. And this is truly the difference of a pre-cut kit versus a cut to fit kit. I mean, all the notches, everything are in it. You don't have to mess with it. Kit looks killer, and this is what you start seeing at the end. Make sure you do roll your edges along here, and make sure that no matter what, you are post heating. One other thing, as you guys are going through and you're taking off your mask, the corners could be a little stubborn to start with a mask. Make sure you're not digging too far in with a knife or anything else. You want to start off with your nail just a little bit, just to get started, and then peel back. So we'll finish wrapping this up, peeling off the mask. You guys know now how to peel off masks, so it's not like we need to show it to you. We'll finish peeling that off. We'll show you what the one side looks like, and if you guys have questions, feel free to let us know. And I've got some more tips for you on care of the product after it's installed.